Today on People Now, Roseanne Barr is blaming her former co-star Sarah Gilbert for ABC canceling Roseanne. We have details.
Jordyn Woods is announcing her return to the spotlight. How is Kylie Jenner coping with this?
Is Priyanka Chopra mad at close friend Meghan Markle for skipping her wedding? We break it down.
Offset is opening up about the moment when he crashed the stage to try to win back Cardi B.
We are joined live by Nancy Schwartzman, the producer and director of the new film Roll Red Roll, which covers the disturbing rape case in Steubenville, Ohio. We'll break it down.
Plus, don't forget, it's National Puppy Day. Send in your pup pics and let's celebrate.
It's live today on People Now. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday.
Indeed.
So exciting. So Jeremy's out today. We have the lovely McCove filling in. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. You always wear the bright colors, so it inspires me to not wear just the dark, sad colors that I often do.
It's gloomy in New York, so I'm dressing for the weather that I want.
And you stopped by for the perfect day because tomorrow is National Puppy Day. So today we are celebrating puppies and doggos and everything.
Yes, I love doggos. Okay, so we definitely needed 2 days to celebrate these puppies anyway. So in honor of the holiday, we're asking you guys to tweet us pics of your own puppies and your dogs and your doggos. Tweet us those pup pics with the hashtag PeopleNow, and you may see them on the show.
We'll take a look at your perfect puppies in a bit, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Starting with something a bit more controversial than adorable puppies. Roseanne Barr is blaming her former co-star Sarah Gilbert for ABC canceling Roseanne. In May of 2018, the network canceled the comedy soon after Barr posted what many considered to be a racist tweet about President Obama's former White House advisor, Valerie Jarrett. Hours after Barr's post, Gilbert, who played her daughter Darlene on the series, tweeted that Barr's comments, quote, do not reflect the beliefs of our cast and crew or anyone associated with our show. Upset that her co-star didn't defend her, Barr told the Post that Gilbert destroyed the show and my life with that tweet. She will never get enough until she consumes my liver with a fine Chianti. Wow, interesting, interesting comment there. After the reboot's cancellation, ABC came out with a spin-off featuring the Connor family that still starred Gilbert, Laurie Metcalf, and John Goodman, but did not star Barr. Writers killed off Roseanne's character with an accidental prescription drug overdose. Initially, after Roseanne's cancellation, Barr apologized for her controversial tweet and said in a podcast that she was willing to accept whatever consequences this brings because she said she knew what she did was wrong. But since then, Barr, in addition to blaming Gilbert, has blamed Ambien, has blamed her support for Donald Trump. She's blamed the ABC network. She's blamed former First Lady Michelle Obama and anti-Semitism for her being fired from the show. So she's blamed a lot of people, a lot of things. I don't think she's really taking responsibility.
I mean, that's my question, is when is she actually going to take responsibility for what she said, what she tweeted with her own hand?
I mean, if she hasn't done it yet, I don't know if it's coming. We'll see who she blames next. All right, moving on to this. Priyanka Chopra is denying rumors that she's mad at close friend Meghan Markle for skipping her wedding. When Andy Cohen asked Chopra on Watch What Happens Live if it was true that she missed the Duchess of Sussex's baby shower because she was, quote, pissed at her, Chopra laughed and replied, oh my God, no, it's not true. Chopra did attend the royal wedding back in May of 2018, but missed the February baby shower in New York City because she was working in LA at the time, which makes sense. And Chopra told People last October that she was, quote, really excited for the expecting mama-to-be. The two have been friends since 2016 when they met at the Elle Women in Television dinner. And while Chopra didn't make it to the bumpin' baby celebration, there were a number of other celebrities who did, including Amal Clooney, Serena Williams, Gayle King, and Abigail Spencer. The gathering was a mini homecoming for the Duchess of Sussex, who doesn't get to see her friends as often as she'd like since moving to London. Meghan Markle's longtime friend and wedding makeup artist Daniel Martin told People that the baby shower was exactly what Markle needed, and it was a, quote, reunion for all of us. Another attendee told People that the baby shower was all baby talk and that Meghan got tons of advice from her friends, which will come in handy very soon. So she's due with her and Prince Harry's first child in late April, right around the bend. And stick around, we've got even more royal news, including how Prince Charles and Camilla are letting loose in the Caribbean. It's a lot of fun. We're covering that and more in our royal record recap a little later in the show. Almost a year since Anthony Bourdain took his own life at the age of 61, the world is still in mourning. From the moment the news broke that the celebrity chef and cultural critic had died by suicide, an outpouring of love and admiration showed the vast reach of Bourdain's taste and affinity for culture around the world. Now that CNN has aired the final episodes of Parts Unknown posthumously, the network is ready to release a book in tribute to him. Available now for pre-order on Amazon, Anthony Bourdain Remembered is a curation of memories from his friends and his fans, including journalists, filmmakers, musicians, writers, and more. The book includes entries by President Barack Obama, documentarian Ken Burns, Questlove of The Roots, and many more. The cover image, along with many photos inside, was shot by Bourdain's longtime photographer, David Scott Holloway, who opened up to People saying, "I saw the whole world thanks to him. Tony took me along for the ride." The book was originally assembled with CNN as a keepsake for Bourdain's 11-year-old daughter, Ariane, but the estate later agreed to publishing it more widely. In his will, written in 2016, Bourdain left his daughter a majority of his finances. In a candid feature in GQ magazine last October, Bourdain's friend and co-owner of Big Gay Ice Cream, Doug Quint, described Bourdain's love for his daughter and a moment he shared with her after Anthony's death. He told GQ, "That day, Ariane said to me something like, 'Is this something that people outside of New York are going to know about?' A moment where both he and Bourdain's daughter understood the worldwide impact her father really had." While Bourdain and his wife, Ottavia Busia, separated in 2016 after 9 years of marriage, they never had a formal divorce. At the time of their split, he told People their relationship was amicable. In fact, his estranged wife is the executor of his estate. All right, Offset is opening up about his public apology to Cardi B. The rapper sat down with Ellen in an episode airing Friday and explained why he chose to make the bold move to apologize to his wife on stage back in December. We all remember this moment. If you kept up with the drama, you probably remember Cardi promptly kicking Offset off the stage. Yikes. But it turns out Offset doesn't regret his epic stunt to win back his boo. Here's what he had to say about the gesture.
We have schedules and we have shows. And I just felt like if I gave a break between time, I just can't give that break between time. So it's my forefront. I step to it as a man and say I'm wrong, and step to it as a man. And you don't have to take me back, but I just want you to know I love you and I care. And I'm putting it all on the table.
Offset also mentioned how the public apology is pretty true to his nature. He proposed to Cardi B on stage as well at the Powerhouse 99 concert in Philadelphia back in 2017. Some fans questioned that over-the-top move as well, but in Offset's opinion, people are going to talk no matter what you do. Was the public apology the right move, Mako?
That's a great question. I think really the mark of a true apology is change behavior, right?
That is very true. I mean, his apology did work out for them. They're back together. So far, so good, but I don't know. I hope he changes.
Yes, Offset, do the right thing by Cardi.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Mako, you have even more for us in Star Trek.
I sure do. Okay, so we're kicking off Star Trek today with the Little Love Lost mystery. Now, even though she's just kicked off her epic Sweetener World Tour, Ariana Grande is apparently still having some feels. She shared a mysterious note on her Insta story without any comment. The story was a screenshot that was reshared by Ari, and it's titled Letting Someone Go. So it reads in part, sometimes the reason for letting someone go is because they can't help but hurt you during this phase of their life. The quote continues, letting someone go doesn't mean you stop loving and caring about anyone. Letting go means you're choosing freedom over the illusion of loyalty. Wow, pretty heavy stuff there. Isn't that so true, though?
It is true.
Yeah, that quote actually comes from Horatio Jones, a two-time author with a large Instagram following, who says he writes about what he calls situationships, we've all been there, and self-awareness. Now, we all remember when Ariana split from her ex-fiancé Pete Davidson back in October after a short-lived whirlwind romance. The comedian has since started dating actress Kate Beckinsale. Meanwhile, on the opening night of Ari's Sweetener Tour at the Times Union Center in Albany, she kicked off the show with a tribute to her late ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller. Now watch this.
KJ.
Yo.
Have you seen my phone?
I haven't seen it either. I haven't seen it.
No.
Ooh, we didn't find his phone, but we did find a zaddy.
Whoa.
Ooh, you guys look at those abs. Okay, excuse me, I was having a moment. Riverdale stars KJ Affa and Mark Consuelos had some fun on KJ's Instagram story on Thursday. Consuelos playfully looked for his phone while showing off his insane abs. The star's wife, Kelly Ripa, also got in on the fun. She posted a screenshot of the hot video to her Instagram story with an eye gif and the song Daddy Cool playing over it. And we can't forget about KJ. We don't think he minds showing off Mark's figure, as the young star has an amazing set of abs himself that he occasionally brings out for the gram. That's right, KJ, do it for the gram. It comes as no surprise that the guys on Riverdale are in amazing shape. So in January, their dedicated celebrity trainer, Alex Fine, opened up to people about the actors' workout regime. The actors are put through 2 workouts a day, where they do 45 minutes of cardio in the morning, another hour session in the afternoon, focused on weightlifting. Fine also added that when one of the cast members has a shirtless scene coming up, they'll even bump the workouts up to 3 times a day. I'm actually worked out just by saying that. 3 times a day? I wish I could do that.
No, it seems like a lot of working out. I mean, look, the results pretty incredible.
I know.
Those abs are insane.
I know. I wish I had those abs too.
I feel like, I don't know. It's like too much abs for me. You know what? It's
too much abs? Yeah. There's no such thing.
I prefer a dad bod. I don't know. It's too intimidating. All right.
Okay, moving on to this. So in case you missed it this week, is Taylor Swift getting engaged?
Channing Tatum heating things up with Jessie J.
And J-Lo's new bling and business venture with A-Rod.
It's all in this week's Star Treks recap. Taylor Swift may have found the one.
Taylor Swift and Joel Alwyn have been dating for about 2 years. Fans might recognize him from movies from this year's awards season, including The Favorite and Boy Erased. Their relationship works because they understand each other's work schedules, and they're willing to travel across the world to be with one another.
And sources tell people their relationship is an easy one.
He's really not interested in the celebrity life. He doesn't want to be photographed all the time. And Taylor really likes that low-keyness about him, that they can kind of just hang out on their own and keep it simple.
Simple, yet serious.
Family and friends would not be surprised if there winds up being an engagement between Taylor and Joe.
A match made in heaven.
It's been nearly a year since Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan announced their separation, and in that year, they both moved on. They're both in new relationships, and they've really found happiness.
It's true.
Jenna Dewan has been dating Steve Kazee of Broadway fame.
And Channing seems happy with Jessie J.
Sources tell people that their relationship is getting really serious. They actually just went on their first trip to London together, where he met her family. And when they're back in LA, Jessie J also spends time with Everly, and their relationship just seems to be going really well.
From well to wow. Have you seen J-Lo's 16-carat engagement ring? The singer is revealing she's never been happier, and it all has to do with A-Rod.
Fans know that they just got engaged to each other in the Bahamas. Jennifer was completely surprised by the whole thing, and she says they've never been happier.
And girl, that ring!
It is a showstopper, to say the least. It's 16 carats and valued at over $1 million. And when fans saw that, they understood why J-Lo would say yes.
And the couple is saying yes in business too.
The couple just signed on for a new sunglasses campaign for Key Australia. It's their first fashion collaboration as a pair.
Their photo shoot was a blast.
J-Lo says that they were constantly laughing together. Both sets of their kids came and joined them on set, which only amped up the fun for them. They shot in Miami, which is really a second home for the blended family.
And A-Rod knows a thing or two about photo shoots. He adorably documents his future wife on red carpets like the perfect fiance.
He's her biggest fan.
Y'all need to find an A-Rod, right?
I do, yeah. Well, I have one. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you do. All right, stay with us. There's a royal swimsuit photo controversy making the rounds this week. We have all the details on that and more in our royal record recap. Plus, us star Shahadi Wright Joseph takes us behind the scenes of the new thriller, revealing what it was like to see Lupita Nyong'o transform into her evil doppelganger. It's coming up in just a bit.
All right, guys, so tomorrow is National Puppy Day, and we've been asking you to send in pics of your pups to celebrate. Let's take a look at the puppy pictures we've gotten so far.
Maybe the record amount of responses we've ever had.
Well,
so let's see.
Everyone have. Oh, so cute.
Thank you guys for sending
Look
these
at those
in.
smiles. That's
that
going to be me
dogs are
all
always
weekend.
smiling.
Look at that.
So happy.
In the fall, in the bed. Why do dogs love sleeping in our beds, right?
I mean, I'm not complaining. This makes my day.
Me
look at
too.
that little mouth open.
I'm getting a dog this year, and this is just giving me so much
You are?
inspiration. I am.
What kind
I am
of dog?
totally. I'm getting a Maltese. I already have a name. Her name is Brownie. So please keep sending in those pictures. They look so cute. My
Yes.
heart is so full right now.
I know, me too. All right, now moving on to this.
Ooh, scandal? What scandal? Jordyn Woods is returning back to the spotlight a month after her alleged cheating with Tristan Thompson. She announced on Instagram that she's going to be in London next week to celebrate the launch of her eyelash collection.
Man, she's putting it out there.
Yeah, she looks
Although
good.
she's back in the public eye, her relationship with former bestie Kylie Jenner seems to still be on ice, not surprising.
Understandably so.
A source tells people that the two have had limited contact and that Kylie has had a pretty rough few weeks, saying she's still upset about the Jordyn situation, although she seems to be doing much better. better.
Absolutely.
I mean, the big question is, how do you come back after this and mend a friendship?
I mean, if Khloe can kind of forgive Tristan, then maybe Kylie and Jordyn could somehow reconcile in the future.
I mean, at this point, though, how do you ever trust Jordyn again?
This is true.
This is the thing, though, is apparently these two were really close, best friends. They vibe together. Kylie doesn't have a huge circle of friends. So now that's, having to change now that Jordyn's out of the picture.
I know, but then how do you really develop true friendships? How do you know if people want to be your friend because you're successful or if it's really because they like you genuinely?
That's true.
Okay, so now the source says that Kylie's been socializing more with other people and is trying to find a bigger circle of friends that she can be close with. Quite the challenge, just like we said. I mean, you sort of get to understand that you can't put all your emotional you can't rely on one person emotionally all the time.
You would think that you could, but
you can't.
You can't always do
Not even
that.
your husband you can't do that with, let alone your best friend. You have to have different friends for different things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is just like an isolated incident. Not all friends are gonna do this to you.
Exactly.
Earlier this month, Jordyn appeared to be making an effort to mend the two's friendship. She liked a photo of Kylie wearing red latex pants and a white crop top, but then later unliked the picture. So you know that fans are really invested when they notice a like and unlike, but that's what went down.
That's what went down. I can almost forgive the whole Tristan thing, but you can't unlike and like a photo. You just don't do that on these Instagram streets. Okay, so shortly after the alleged cheating scandal was sort of made public, Jordyn spoke on Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook series, Red Table Talk, where she expressed remorse for her alleged actions and opened up about the communication she and Kylie have had since the scandal broke. Let's take a look at that.
Have you talked to Kylie? I have. I told her I was coming to the table today. I think at this point, it's gone too far. Right. And enough is enough. And when the safety of the people I love is in jeopardy, I have to speak.
So it was interesting when she spoke out. It felt like there was stuff missing from the story. I watched that and I was like, oh, but why are you there?
But can I say, her makeup was laid. That ponytail, those eyebrows, that highlighter, that was besides the point. It was the drama. Okay, all right,
sorry. Amid the drama with Kylie's former BFF, she's also allegedly going through a rough patch with the father of her 1-year-old daughter, Stormy, Travis Scott, of course.
Baby, when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two were outspotted on Thursday in LA for the first time since Travis faced his own cheating allegations. Wow.
I know. Last month, TMZ reported that Kylie had accused Travis of cheating, which reportedly prompted Travis to cancel his Buffalo, New York show, remain in LA, where the two got into an argument.
Yeah, so soon after that, reporter rep for Travis denied the claims to People that he had been unfaithful and that the couple had gotten into a fight over the alleged cheating. Now, reps for Kylie had no comment.
Now, the couple's recent outing also comes a few days after Travis was seen courtside at a Golden State's Warriors game rocking a t-shirt with Kylie's image on it. So, seems like he's coming out strong.
Yes.
Trying to say my relationship isn't rocky. Look, why would I have Kylie on my shirt if things are weird?
Here's the thing about the truth. The truth will always come out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So imagine going through this with your best friend and then having reports about your relationship be on the rocks because of your man's own alleged cheating. Kylie must feel like she can't trust anyone. Kylie, we're over here at People Now. If you want to be our friends, just come over. We'll be true friends for you.
And I mean, I don't even trust anyone. I don't know how Kylie does. All right. You guys, there is this grammar quiz from the 1980s going around on the internet that some people are having a hard time with, so it got us very curious.
Indeed. Okay, so the creator claims that most people won't get more than half of the 20 questions right. So apparently the multiple choice answers look simple, but they can be really deceptive and can easily slip you up.
Makes us wonder, how hard is this quiz really? I just felt like I was good at grammar, so I want to do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Ready to test?
I am.
To do this, Mako?
Okay, here goes nothing. I'm going to put the disclaimer out there. English is not my first language. So, all right, let's go.
All right, you have a solid excuse. Okay, let's cue the music. Let's start with the first one. Let's see how we do here, Mako.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so if I blank you, I would quit. So if I was or if I were you, what do you think it is? I know.
Let me see. If I blank you, I would quit. I think that the answer is if I were you, I would quit.
And I agree with you.
Yes?
Let's see if we're right.
Let's see, is that right?
If I
were you.
Were you? Yay!
Yay! I got that right.
Good.
All right.
All right, so far so good.
All right.
Moving on to the next one.
Right. Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
Neither one of us blank capable of working tomorrow.
Okay.
I understand that this one's a little tricky because
Yeah.
neither one is singular, so I think it's neither one of us is.
I've seen like in British English, people answer if they're saying about a plural or a bunch of people, they say are.
Well, that would be. We are.
We are. But let's see,
because it's
we
either
are
one of us,
right?
It's singular. So that's why I think it's, if they're talking about one, it goes, it is. That's me. What do you think?
Okay, so this is a text message that Andrea and I are probably going to send each other after Saturday night about actually Sunday night. So let's see. I think it's neither one of us is capable of working tomorrow.
So
yes, what is it?
Yeah, 2 for 2.
All right.
All right, okay.
Macomb knows her English. Let's go.
Next one. All right, don't go into your head. All right, the next one is blank keys are on the desk.
Okay.
This, to me, this is
Oh my
easy,
gosh, you guys, this confuses me all the time. The who's and the who's. Okay, let's see. Let me think about
I know this one, but I want to see what you say.
Let me see. Okay, is it the who? Is the one with the SE or the one with the apostrophe? It's like the your and the yours. I never know when to use
but
it.
you have your excuse. So.
Okay, all right.
I know which one it is. What do you think it is?
I think it's who's, the one with the apostrophe.
Okay, I think it's the other one.
It's the other one?
So, yeah, let's see. Yeah.
It's the other one.
Because for who with the apostrophe, you have to think who is. If there's the apostrophe, unless it's possessive, it has to be who is.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right, I got it. All right.
Yeah, all right. Next one. That one's tricky, though. And you knew that that was your weakness.
It is. That is my weakness.
Okay, do you mind if I blank until the rain stops? It's also funny because I'm glad that these are the words.
Exactly, because I'm thinking something else. It's Friday after a certain time. Do you mind if I, until the rain stops? That's what I'm thinking.
This one's weird because it's just present and past.
Do you mind if I stay or stayed? Okay, I think the answer is, do you mind if I stay until the rain stops?
Stay, yeah. That seems really obvious to me,
Yeah.
but sometimes with these, they're tricky, so I think it's stay, right? So let's see the answer.
What is the answer?
Yeah, okay,
It's stay. Okay, that
Sometimes
makes a lot of
you,
sense.
Like, end up thinking, or maybe
It's
the other,
present tense, right? So until the rain stops.
All right, this one, a lot of people get tripped up on this last one. So I feel sad for him, but his brother blank care less. So is it his brother could care less or brother couldn't care less?
Ooh, his brother couldn't. Okay, I feel sad for him because his brother couldn't care less. I'm gonna go with. Guys at home, could you help me out? Could you phone a friend? Okay, wait. Okay. I think it's couldn't.
Yes, it's couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less.
A lot of people say, because we'll see the answer, it's couldn't.
It's
correct? Yes.
It's couldn't.
Most people say, oh, I could care less. But if you could care less, that means you can actually care less than you care right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's couldn't care less because there's, you get it. You get it.
Look at Andrea.
Not that hard though, right? I thought it was pretty hard.
High five. Woo. All right. So there are 20 questions in total though, so take it yourself and see how you do.
All right, can you guys plank like this? I'm sure you can plank, but this 71-year-old man broke the Guinness World Record for his age group by planking for 38 minutes.
Wow.
I actually cannot believe that.
That's impressive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Andy Seinfeld beat the record while planking at the Saves Jewish Community Center in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. It's amazing.
It is, Andy, you are my hero. Now, the previous world record for his age group was a 36-minute plank.
Even 36 minutes.
Yeah, right?
And then to go from 36 to 38, he crushed it by 2 minutes.
He really did. Killed it.
This was his quote. He said, there was a clock in front of me, so it was easy to determine the moment. My audience also let out a big cheer.
That was nice.
I continued for an extra minute just to be certain.
Yeah.
That's what he told Inside Edition. I mean, he's super cute, and I'm very happy for him. I don't even know him, but I'm very happy for him.
And I think in that photo we showed there was a little guitar on the side, so he had some tunes, and of course I'm sure he was rotating elbows.
I mean, it's a lot of time. You might as well just have a little party and a hangout session while you're at it.
Exactly. So it turns out Andy had no idea that he had such core strength until a few years ago when he took a fitness test at the gym and surpassed the blank time limit by a lot. Can you manage that?
I mean, he's very impressive.
Right?
And it's also, he's been through a lot. He's a cancer survivor. He's gone through 38 treatments for prostate cancer. So strong guy there.
Very strong guy. He puts that statement that it gets greater later really to the test.
Yeah.
Now, the Guinness World Record for planking for all age groups is 10 hours.
Which is also...
How?
Which is really hard to believe. And who wants to put 10 hours of their day into trying to plank?
Yeah.
But it's held by a super fit retired Marine named George Hood, and he is 60 years old.
Well, that makes sense. So in the Marine, they probably put them through a lot of training, so you build up your endurance and your strength, and you know, your core is very important to your overall health.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also very impressive. 10 hours for someone who's 60, that's amazing.
That's a full-time shift. Now, Andrea, how long can you plank for?
I don't know. I mean, look, I usually plank for about 2 minutes. It sounds so sad comparatively when you talk about someone that can plank for 38 minutes and then 10 hours.
This is true.
I think if it was okay, if it was a Survivor challenge, I bet I could make it last for like 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
That's also me just right now thinking I could do that.
Okay.
But I think the most I've ever done is probably 2 minutes. What about you?
So tune into our Instagram because we're gonna make sure that I put you to the test in your heels.
We should do
I
that.
want to see if you can plank for those 6 minutes. I think I
about
got
you?
45 seconds. That's all I have.
Really?
Yeah,
You can do a
that's
minute.
all I have.
You can do a minute. All right,
I
we're
don't
gonna
have
do
it.
that on our Insta stories right after this.
In our heels.
Either way, very impressive to Andy. So congrats to him for breaking the record. All right, now watch this.
When I first read this story, there wasn't a lot of substance to the article. 2 high school football players had been charged, just a couple of paragraphs about these 2 boys, and that was it. I thought, this is nuts because that town is so entrenched in their football team. This is big news. So that's when I started snooping around.
The new film, Roll, Red, Roll, covers the disturbing rape case in Steubenville, Ohio that sparked an awareness of rape culture. We are joined now by the film's producer and director, Nancy Schwartzman, to break it all down. Welcome, Nancy. How are you?
Welcome, Nancy.
I first want to say thank you so much for doing this because I think, rape culture is something that we're now learning more about, but it's just so prevalent. And so I watched this last night and I was bawling.
Yeah.
I knew the information, but still to see it in this format, I think it's wonderful that you put it all together.
Yeah, powerful is right. Okay, so this case takes place in a small town in Ohio. What happened to Jane Doe the night in question?
Well, Jane Doe was incapacitated, and essentially what the film reveals is this wasn't a crime of opportunity. This was actually something that had been planned out a bit in advance. So she was taken advantage of by someone she thought she could trust. And the worst part of it was she was assaulted, but so many people knew it was happening. So many people talked about it, they tweeted about it. There were like so many points of intervention along the way to stop it. And it wasn't stopped.
Makes you wonder what's going on.
There was a bunch of people there and knew about it. Why did nobody step in?
Yeah, I think what we understand and what I came to understand after making this film was we have this idea that rape is inevitable in a way. And that's what was sort of going on in this high school. And it reminded me of my high school, frankly. It's not like this town is the only town where this goes on. So I think kids just are like, okay, well, this is the culture we live in. This is what happens when you go out with the football players.
Yeah.
And the adults weren't showing them a different model and weren't like holding young people accountable for their behavior.
Because you almost wonder where they're learning it from. Like, is this learned behavior or is this something that they're sort of picking up on their own?
It's sad that you almost accept it's a reality and it's probably going to happen to you as a woman.
Yeah.
It's horrible. What was the turning point for the case where they actually were able to convict people?
Yeah, so the story takes so many twists and turns, and our lead protagonist, Alex Goddard, is a crime blogger, and she had the foresight to go into the social media, which was completely public, of these teenagers and really start piecing together what was going down that night. And she saved that material. And at the time, the police were like, okay, well, whatever, that's a tweet. Why should I pay attention to it? And she said, no, this is important. This is the culture. So her work led to the Cleveland Plain Dealer looking into it and then eventually getting picked up by the New York Times. And then the hackers group Anonymous came in and just like blew this up into an international story.
It's so crazy that it was just hiding in plain sight, right? Yeah. It was available on social media and the police almost skipped over it. And it wasn't for our hero, Alex, we probably wouldn't have even found out about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What were some of the specific things that you found that were actually pointing to this happening?
She found tweets that said, "Song of the night is rape me."
Yeah.
Never seen anything this sloppy, LOL. Whores are hilarious. But they also used the word rape over and over again. So in the defense, adults were saying, oh, they didn't know what it was. They were confused. And she was very adamant. She's like, they're using the word rape, they knew, and they're laughing about it.
Yes, that was the most disturbing thing for me, that they were laughing about it and tweeting these things. These cases happen way too often.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing that's happening. What was most surprising about this case for you?
I think it was why I wanted to make it. For me, I want to shift this culture, right? So we're all born into it. We're all trained to uphold it, whether that's blaming the victim or protecting the boys or whatever. How do we stop it? I think we have to shock people out of it and say, like, okay, we were born into this, but we don't have to keep upholding it. And we designed this film to be a thriller and also like in your face, to really get men involved and like wake them up to be like, oh my God, this reminds me of the locker room when I played football. And that's not okay, you
It's
know?
bringing that conversation to the forefront, the toxic masculinity to the forefront. What message do you want parents to sort of take away from this, right? As they're having conversations with their children about social media and about cases like this.
Yeah, I mean, we really want parents talking to their sons, right? It's like, how are we gonna raise better men who respect women, who respect each other? Like, as a young man, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to have feelings. Also, if, you know, rape is illegal, let's make sure everyone's really clear about the definitions of rape. And, you know, it would be great if parents could push schools for sex education. It's not just parents' fault, right? Why aren't our high schools taking it seriously and teaching kids about this?
And that's the thing, Nancy, these kids were like, what, 14, 15, 16, so it should be starting to have, the conversation should be starting earlier, right?
And what were the penalties that they ended up facing?
So the two young men were tried as juveniles. So they actually received pretty long sentences in the juvenile court. So one young man got 1 year and the other got 2 years.
I mean, a lot of times you see with these cases that no one is even convicted or no one goes to jail or anything. I mean, how do you think this case particularly then affected other cases moving forward?
There were eyewitnesses in this case. So there were also 3 other young men that were in the room during the crime. So I also want to get parents and, you know, school people involved in terms of, like, even if you're not committing the crime, if you're watching it happen, like, what is your responsibility to intervene and do something, right? So they had eyewitnesses, so they were able to get that conviction. They had a great judge, they had a great prosecutor. We have to look at the whole system, because a lot of these judges aren't giving strong sentences. They're doing a slap on the wrist because he's a good swimmer, or
he's the biggest thing in Steubenville.
And even with the media, sometimes that's how they describe the person instead of focusing on what they actually did.
Exactly.
It's about they were, a swimmer. That's a really good example.
Right, right. Oh, he's such a good kid. Otherwise, sure, we're all, you know, everyone is both good and bad, and we all have the possibility, because we're raised in this culture, of possibly hurting another person.
Absolutely.
So we have to be held accountable by our system.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, thank you for bringing awareness to this.
Very important
because
conversation.
obviously, I think you nail it. Like, people need to be shocked because a lot of people doubt it's even happening, and especially men too that aren't affected by it. As women, we know this. It's like, oh yeah, so many people get raped, and it's a real reality for us. But you know, I think that we just need change to happen, and I want to thank you again for doing
this.
this
Conversation, Nancy, thank you so much for being here today. Now, guys, Red Roll is in theaters today.
Run.
What are you people? It's us.
So Scary, that's the trailer for Us, the new horror thriller film by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele, which is out today. We are joined now by one of the stars of the film, Shahadi Wright-Joseph. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
That's scary. Do you get scared watching that trailer?
No. I probably watched the trailer like 50 times when it came out.
Very true. This must be a really exciting time for you. You have these 2 buzzy films, the Lion King remake, and of course Us. Let's start with Us. Such an intense film. You have this scene with a golf club. I mean, how intense was it to shoot these scenes?
It was a little bit stressful because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't hurting anybody because the golf club is pretty heavy. But I'm glad that nobody got hurt, and it was great. I really like the outcome of it.
Can you imagine if you hurt someone? That would be...
Oh God, that would be embarrassing.
Luckily...
I wouldn't even want to watch the scene anymore. I ruined
Luckily,
it.
nobody was harmed. It's all good. Had you seen Get Out before you saw Us? I mean, you were probably only 11 when that came out, right?
Actually, yeah.
Were you a big fan of horror films?
Definitely, because I was a big fan of Jordan Peele even before Get Out, you know, just watching like his Key and Peele skits, and he's like hilarious. And then seeing him change into this horror director was like kind of shocking.
Yeah, I mean, he's brilliant. You've seen a final cut of Us, correct?
Yes.
And didn't you see it a few times, right?
Yeah, I've seen it 4 times.
4 times. I mean, you're very young, you're 13. How do your parents feel about you being involved in this very scary film?
I mean, they love it. It's such a great movie, especially when you have an audience around you. You get to see all of the reactions. It's great. But I think that they know that I'm nice. I'm not actually, you know, as scary as it looks in the movie.
You're not?
No.
Let's talk about Jordan Peele. What was the audition process like for him? I know they flew you out to LA, so walk me through a little bit of that.
It was a little bit nerve-wracking because I had no idea what Jordyn was really looking for in the audition, so it was kind of scary. But, you know, while I was in the audition room, he was just telling me about all of the things and, you know, about the character. And I was so excited to play this role. And I think that this is like one of my favorite roles so far because it was so challenging.
I mean, I would imagine, since you're a fan of Jordan Peele, there were maybe some nerves going into it.
Yeah.
How were you able to get rid of those nerves and kind of calm down? Because I feel like I would be so nervous to work with someone that I looked up to so much.
Right, and I feel like Jordyn specifically created such a great environment for all of us to work in, and I think that we really supported each other as a family. So it wasn't that scary once we actually started working with each other and once we started shooting. So I think that it was more fun than it was, you know, challenging.
And was he very serious on set, or was it like he was joking around?
Yeah, he's really goofy. But the times when we were playing the Bad Family, you know, he would like give us time to really prepare and really, you know, get into the mindset of the roles because it's a challenging role. It's really heavy.
Yeah, that's what I think's so cool about this film. There's this, you kind of face off against this bad version of yourself. So tell us about that. How did it actually work out? Was there someone standing there in your place?
Right, I had amazing doubles that looked exactly like me to create the magic of it, you know, when I was playing Zora or when I was playing Umbre. So it was perfect, and you know, they would put the cameras perfectly placed. And I think that the magic was kind of like seamless when you see it in the movies.
Were you ever scared doing these scenes?
No,
not at all.
No, I'm a big fan of horror movies, and when you're around everybody, it really isn't that scary.
Lupita Nyong'o obviously stars as your mother, and she's wonderful. What was it like working with her?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Well, I feel like when the Wilsons are singing "I Got 5 on It" in the car, I feel like that was the most fun part about it, because you know we're bonding and we're just like a family, and it was great. And Jordyn specifically put those scenes at the end of shooting so that we could like take the time to actually, you know, get to know each other and to bond. So it was really great.
And I know you said in another interview she was actually really scary and creepy, right?
Yeah.
How was she creepy?
Yeah, like she would actually get into her Red character like so much, and it was kind of spooky. Her and Winston too. So Evan and I were kind of like, what's happening?
So did you sometimes not know when she was in character or not?
No. Sometimes I would literally see her and I would be like, oh, she's not herself right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what were some of the things she was doing? It was just you could tell in her face?
Yeah, or she wouldn't talk, or she would talk in like that raspy voice, and she would walk slowly, and it's kind of spooky.
That would freak me out.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to just go up to her and say, hey, Lupita, how are you? And you're like, oh, we're just doing the raspy voice.
Yeah, exactly.
She's such a brilliant actor.
Yes.
I mean, she's incredible. Did she teach you anything, or what's the thing you kind of learned from her?
I guess that I learned a lot about her method acting, you know, as I said, you know, just her being in character all the time. So I guess that I would use that in the future.
Yeah, hopefully you guys get to work together again.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. I saw the whole crew was just down in South by Southwest.
Yes.
That's amazing. What was it like traveling with everybody, especially having this camaraderie from shooting?
Yeah, it was great. You know, seeing everybody again, it was fantastic. It was very nostalgic. We got many memories from shooting, but it was great. I would work with everybody in that cast again.
Yeah, by the way, I gotta say, you have some amazing style there. I mean, how would you describe your fashion sense?
I guess modern, classy.
I mean, look at this. That's amazing.
I had no idea that I was gonna match the backdrop.
It kind of works though. It seems like you planned it out.
Yeah.
I like it. I dig it. Were you always a fashionista growing up, or is it now with all the press and everything you're getting really into it?
I think that it's kind of now getting into press. You know, I used to just wear tutus and, you know, sparkles and stuff like that.
So you were definitely more of a girly girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't really care if I was matching or not, so I wasn't like in like the fashion world where I was like, no, you don't do that. It was mostly just like, I'll just wear anything that I like.
Yeah, I gotta say, you look pretty amazing. As we mentioned, you're also in Lion King, which comes out in July. I mean, so excited. People are very amped. What are you most excited for people to see with Lion King?
I'm excited for people to see the new animation. I think that a lot of fans from the old movie are gonna come back and really enjoy this one.
Did you grow up watching Lion King?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Nana, we used to watch it with each other on VHS. I had a VHS. And we would watch that like all the time. That was like one of my favorite movies.
I kind of hope VHS comes back. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
I watched Lion King so many times that I apparently broke it. I think my parents just told me that I broke it because they were sick of it. In the upcoming film, you play the young Nala, adult Nala, obviously played by Beyonce. Now I know you haven't met her yet, but are you a Beyonce fan? Were you a big fan?
Yes, I'm a big fan of her. I mean, like, I love listening to her music, and her voice is spectacular, so.
You're probably gonna run into her doing press.
Right,
what are you gonna say to her?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think that I'll just start with hi. I don't know. It's crazy, because I never thought that I would actually be playing, you know, young Beyonce.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
Prince Charles and Camilla are letting loose in the Caribbean this week. They're on a 12-day royal tour. Here to walk us through their tropical trip are People senior news editor Erin Hill and our royal correspondent Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Okay, can we set the record straight? Is it the Caribbean or the Caribbean?
Caribbean for me, but I'm English, so I speak funny.
Caribbean for me.
All right, I'll say the Caribbean, but I know that people say the Caribbean as well. All right, both work. Let's start off with this. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, got her party on this week with a shot of rum. So Erin, set the scene for us. Where was she? How did this happen? And I mean, briefly, what's the trip all about?
Yes, so Charles and Camilla are on a 12-day tour of over 10 different islands, and it's going to include a really monumental trip to Cuba as well. But they're really just fostering relationships between some spots in the Commonwealth and other countries, and just really showing cultural links. And earlier this week, Camilla received a really warm welcome in St. Vincent and Grenadine, and she happily took this shot of passion fruit rum, a cultural link, obviously, between the UK and the island. Having a great time, looking amazing in her pink tunic and her umbrella. Clearly enjoying this tour.
I mean, a shot of rum sounds pretty good
right
now.
When you're working, I mean, where is our rum?
I know, we should celebrate.
Honestly.
We know everything that the royals do in public is planned to an extent. So Imogen, when you see a royal let loose like we do with Camilla, I mean, what's the significance behind it?
Okay, so the royals are figurehead to 2.4 billion people around the world. That's a third of the world. So a lot of these tours are sort of outreach, and they're also all about making themselves look approachable, accessible. So that's exactly what Camilla was doing. She was visiting at a local school, saw some local stores, had a shot of rum in this shot, but then went on and had some rum punch, apparently, on like the next stall or something. So she was having some fun. And if you ever go to that area, the rum punch is excellent.
Okay, good to know. A day earlier, Prince Charles met with Lionel Richie and apparently told a total dad joke, right? So what was this dad joke? Apparently Lionel was laughing and everything.
Yes, so Prince Charles was welcoming Lionel Richie as an ambassador for his charity, Princess Trust International, and he couldn't help himself when he was thanking him for accepting the role. He said, it must have been you I was looking for. Kind of a quote for the 1983 song Hello. And Lionel Richie also was just sort of eye roll, like, I can't believe you said that. You said that.
I'm not usually a fan of dad jokes, but I feel like in this case, I would let it slide, right?
I think absolutely let it slide. And also, just a shout out to Prince Charles here, who's been ahead of the curve on so many issues, but his Prince's Trust, which was founded for young people back in 1976, doing good work for them, has raised almost $2 billion over the years. I mean, that's impressive, son. So it's with projects like this.
I also love seeing Lionel Richie so happy there, and they're having such a good time. A photo of Prince Charles has actually been making the rounds here from when he hit the beach in Barbados this week. Kind of reminded us of other photos we saw over the years. We have a few of those photos here, but there's some reported controversy surrounding the new photos. Imogen, fill us in on this.
Okay, so they are away on these beautiful locations, and they've got 50 engagements on 10 different islands over 12, 13 days, as Erin was saying. Now, according to the Press Association, a source said the pictures were taken during a brief off-duty moment on a major international tour on behalf of the government, in circumstances where the couple would have a reasonable expectation of privacy during private downtime.
time. And Charles's lawyer has apparently been on the case about these photos, saying this. No word yet from Clarence House. So look, obviously they're upset. They are away working hard and didn't quite want to give off the impression that they were just there on holiday.
Frolicking around.
But I have to say, I admit I have seen the photos. Sorry, Clarence House. And Charles looks really good for a man of 70.
Yeah.
Very fit.
I mean, I think you should be proud of it.
You should be out there having fun.
Yeah. Charles wasn't the only royal whose attire caused a stir this week. His son, Prince Harry, got the internet all hot and bothered with his Royal Marines uniform. So first of all, let's see this picture here. We have it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hot and bothered for
man
sure.
in uniform. Yes.
Erin, what was everyone so worked up about?
So yeah, we're used to seeing Harry in suits, the occasional tux, but it's rare we see him looking full on Prince. And this is his red Royal Marines uniform. He was at the Mountbatten Music Festival at the Royal Albert Hall, and he's just looking full dapper. And everyone just sort of take a step back, like, oh yeah, this is Prince Harry, and seeing him in his regal vest.
We have these Twitter reactions. Oh, my hormones.
He's earned his uniform. He fought in Afghanistan, did 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. And that's actually a pretty rare thing for young men of privilege nowadays.
Definitely.
Well, people are sure freaking out about this. I mean, look, you're right. A man in uniform. Hottie. It's all hottie alert. There we go. Before you guys go, Harry had the cutest interaction with the youngster when he stepped out at the St. Vincent's Catholic Primary School on Wednesday. So another reason to love him. He's really good with kids.
Absolutely.
Imogen, what went down?
Well, he should have been wearing his uniform because he turned up looking normal.
right.
And one student who was 4 years old didn't believe Harry was a real prince because he wasn't wearing a crown or obviously a uniform. Harry eventually persuaded the school kids, saying, "Look, I'm the real Harry. I've just had my hair cut for the occasion," and they, had a high five. This has happened to him regularly because he doesn't have a crown or a cape. So maybe royals should just be wearing his uniform all the time.
Exactly.
I think we've got the answer to the problem here. He should always be wearing his uniform.
We got a chance to talk to him a couple years ago when he was in Orlando for Invictus Games, and he said, especially being in the Disney area, he was nervous about kids being disappointed when they saw him show up not wearing a crown and a cape, and he said he's used to it.
Okay. I think you should just wear the uniform, right?
Yes,
Solve all the problems.
Solve all the problems.
All right, Imogen and Erin, thank you so much for
Good to
joining
see
us,
you.
as always.
All right, guys, let's take one last look at our question of the day. Tomorrow is National Puppy Day, and we've been asking you to send in pics of your own pups, and let's see what you guys have been
day
sending
at work,
in.
having to look at all of these.
Look at that cute doggo. So cute at home by the fireplace.
Love this so much.
He's like, what did you say to me? I love cuddling with a puppy. Oh, getting into some
I wish it was National Puppy Day every day.
It should be.
If you have a puppy, probably is for you.
I therefore declare it hereby
we saw that
declare
one
it
puppy
National
with
Puppy
the
Day.
hair clip. Are you going to do that with your dog?
With my dog Brownie, of course. Brownie's going to be
you're
dressed to
into
the nines.
dressing them up like that?
Absolutely.
I don't know if they want to be put through that.
They don't have a say. You belong to me. I am your master. That's how it goes. These puppies are so cute, you guys. Look, am I the only one who thinks that? No.
I mean,
look at how cute. I love when puppies lay on their backs and sort of turn
so
around.
Cute. A little pit bull there, a little kitty mix. Ah, so cute. Thank you guys for sending those in.
Made our day.
Yeah, it really did. All right, we'll be back with another question of the day on Monday, so tune in for that. Hopefully it's as exciting as Puppy Day. Coming up next week, Sugarland band member Jennifer Nettles is here talking about her new single, I Can Do Hard Things, and her upcoming movie, Harriet, about Harriet Tubman's life.
Plus, Josh Altman also joins us, and he'll be giving us the deets on the $1 Million Listing Los Angeles season finale, a new book, and more. You don't want to miss this. Thanks for watching, you guys, and for now, we leave you with one last thing from 2 of the fabulous queens on this season's RuPaul's Drag Race. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, I'm Honey. And I'm Sugar from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11. And this is one last thing. My last big splurge was on my Abraham Levy bee costume for the reveal. Girl, that was expensive. The last show I binge watched, oh my gosh, Russian Doll.
I'm having a very hard, never-ending night.
I lived. I watched the whole thing. My last show that I binge watched is Grace and Frankie, y'all. Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
I'm just like you, but with a better personality. Certainly bigger.
My last song that was stuck in my head, I don't know if I can say it on WTP. We'll just leave it there.
I will.
The last song that was stuck in my head is Lizzo, Juice. It's
that's
revolutionary.
It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose.
It's like some Rick James funk type stuff. But
I
like
love that
new
one.
age. I
It's
love
cute.
it. Yeah.